So today on Collective Checkup, I want to tell you about my experience yesterday at President Obama's speech here in Denver regarding the American Jobs Act, his push to help America's small businesses hire and grow. Before we get into the details and snippets from the speech, first I'll entertain you with some protesters we found across the street. This guy responds.
Kiss my ass!
So there were about 1,000 people in attendance. Tickets were required. However, ironically, they actually didn't check my ticket when I came in, so I could have just been anybody. Obviously, though, they still had pretty tight airport-like security. And I'll discuss some of the bill in just a moment, but first, here's the first clip of President Obama coming out and addressing the crowd, as you can see here. Before he gets into the speech, here's a cute little cheap remark right here. Now here's some snippets of actual speech.
Let's get to work. Why should our children be allowed to study in crumbling, outdated schools? How does that give them a sense that education is important? We should build them the best schools. That's what I want for my kids. That's what you want for your kids. That's what I want for every kid in America. Why should we let China build the newest airports? Let me summarize here. The American Jobs Act will lead to new jobs for construction workers, jobs for teachers, jobs for veterans, jobs for young people, jobs for the unemployed. It will provide tax relief for every worker and small business in America. And by the way, it will not add to the deficit. It will be paid for.
Yeah, that's kind of a white lie. It actually is going to add to the deficit. It just won't add as much as it would have, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, what you see here is just a clip of a page of 199 pages of regulations. Obviously, I haven't read it, nor has anyone else. But when you go to the whitehouse.gov website, it does give the snippets of, the basic things of the bill. And when you look at it that way, of course, it's hard not to agree with it. So by that account, there are some things that I like. However, the problem is, as I said, it's not really paid for. The 12-member super committee that's in charge of figuring out $1.5 trillion more in cuts is now going to have to figure out another $457 billion in cuts. And of course, as you can see on this page, the president himself doesn't really know where those cuts are going to come from. Here you go. But one thing that's interesting is that the government essentially has a problem with baseline budgeting. That is the automatic growth of government by 7.5%. So even Republicans, when they say, oh, you can't cut defense and military spending, well, you're not really cutting it. You're still increasing it. Rather than growing by 7.5%, they'll just grow by 3%. The point is they still grow. So when they use the word cut, it's basically a gray lie because they're not cutting anything. They just don't grow as much. So it's like, well, rather than getting a Ferrari, I'll just get an Escalade. I still can't afford both.
That they defended passed the bill. It is time to act. We are not a people who sit back and wait for things to happen. We make things happen. We're Americans. We are tougher than the times that we live in, and we are bigger than the politics we've been seeing out of Washington. We write our own destiny. It is in our power to do so once more. So let's meet this moment. Let's get to work, and let's show the world once again why the United States of America is the greatest nation on earth.
So that's how the president ended his speech, on a high note there, stirring up the crowd with his motivational type speaking, as many know. But some argue there's just not enough real substance there. In fact, there's one thing funny he said. He stated that the Republicans say, you know, he's just doing this campaign-style tour of a few states with this American Jobs Act as an attempt to get reelected. And when it doesn't pass, he's just going to blame the Republicans, so maybe America will reelect him because he's the one that's really trying to get things done. He says Republicans say he's just trying to use this to give him a win, and he replied, "Give me a break," which was pretty funny at the moment. So yeah, as I said, there's some things in here that I like, but in reality, it's just not paid for. And after trillions of stimulus before, what would make this have any effect on America as a whole? Some of the things I don't really like are when he talks about some things that states should handle anyway, like a bridge. If their bridge needs repair, then their tax dollars can pay for it if they deem it necessary. And if it's not, if there's not enough money for it, then they're going to allocate those assets somewhere else that they deem more important. As you can see right here, though, I got pretty close to the president. It was pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to shake his hand there, and there were a few people in front of me. But I want to know what you think. Is this American Jobs Act tour of a few states just an attempt to get reelected, or is the president serious in thinking that this could actually work? Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching today on Collective Checkup.